We've all seen reporters standing outside in hurricanes and blizzards, but lately weather reporting seems to have taken a more dangerous turn. When a second round of deadly tornadoes struck Oklahoma on Friday, two journalists from the Weather Channel got in their car and drove toward the storm. The result, a harrowing close call that all but destroyed the car and left the channel's Mike Bettis and a colleague badly shaken. On the Weather Channel, Bettis was asked what he thought about when he ran into danger.
Good question, Dave.
I know
Jerk.
it's tough. I know it's
Jerk.
Sorry.
I just saw my wife's face, and I thought, that's my life, and I don't want to give that up just yet.
And then there are the storm chasers, those citizen thrill seekers who sometimes sell pictures and information to news outlets. CNN confirming this morning that 3 of them died on Friday while pursuing the tornado in Oklahoma City. They are Tim Samaras, who worked with the Discovery Channel program Storm Chasers, his son, Paul Samaras, and their colleague, Carl Young. Very sad news, as confirmed by Tim Samaras' brother. Joining us now to talk about the risk of covering extreme weather in Oklahoma by phone, Chad Myers, CNN meteorologist and a severe weather expert, and here in Washington, Lois Romano, senior political writer for Politico, who spent a decade reporting from Oklahoma. Chad Myers, you face these questions all the time when extreme weather comes up, which is how much risk does a journalist take in order to get close to a storm that could be deadly?
Well, we all know that this is difficult and dangerous, and sometimes things go wrong. But I think to portray Tim as just a chaser out for thrill is just the wrong thing. And you weren't. I just want people to know that Tim was a scientist, and he was out there to put probes out there, and he was out there to learn and understand and to make science more understandable with this storm and a tornado itself, and to get more data so that people could be safer, so that the National Weather Service and NOAA could get better warnings. We all go out there and we try to protect the public, but Tim was even one step higher. And I've had a very hard morning. You can hear it in my voice, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
I really can, Chad. And Tim Samaras has an engineering background. What a tragedy that he was killed with his son. He says that he has gotten by financially by getting snippets of funding from the government and from the media. And Lois Romano is somebody who lived in the Oklahoma City area, in the Tulsa area, I should say.
There's just no one safer than Tim. Tim, he would never put himself in danger. He certainly wouldn't put his son in danger. And to get left turned by that storm or right turned, wherever Tim was, I don't know where he was. But that was a very dangerous storm to chase. We knew it. And we saw chasers just in pickup trucks driving into the tornado. And we were looking at them, and we're on live TV at 4:45 on the lead with Jake Chapper. And we're like, where are these guys going? Not Tim. But where are these people driving to? Because the tornado is going to form right there. And so many people got too close this time. It didn't start as an EF1 almost. It started as a multi-vortex large tornado, and people were under it when it started. We were about 7 miles away. We were in a perfectly safe position, and I'm sure Tim was too. But he wants to put these little probes out there to figure out what the pressure drops is, what this multi-vortex means, and how to better forecast a large tornado dropping straight out of a storm, not starting as a 70-mile-per-hour dust devil.
Chad, let me jump in and turn to Lois Romano, who worked in Oklahoma, where tornadoes, of course, are a way of life. And
Sure.
in 1999, there was a storm in Moore, which was also recently
it
hit.
paralleled the storm.
And you interviewed people, and talk a little bit about the media's role in this.
Well, first of all, let me just say it's like covering a war zone. So there is a very important role for the media, and they're doing a public service. But I went into the aftermath of the storm, and an elderly gentleman took me into what was his home. It was completely torn down, and he showed me his easy chair, which was maybe about 50 yards away. And he was telling me how he was sitting in his little condominium, in his easy chair, watching the radar from all the weather channels, when all of a sudden he realized the thing was getting really close. And he just said, whoops, I better get in the car. And then he just went and raced himself ahead of the tornado. So he believes that the weathermen saved his life. And so it plays a role. I mean, the media play a role in warnings. They play a role in assessing the damage because they fly the helicopters, which then in turn lets the government declare it a disaster area and gets aid.
Right. And Chad Myers, you talked about being perfectly safe because you were 7 miles away from this killer storm. But can you really be perfectly safe in that kind of situation? And is Is it journalism and a desire to be near the action that leads meteorologists and journalists and correspondents and Weather Channel people to try to get as close as possible, or is it also just good television?
Well, we all know where to be on a tornado that moves to the northeast. Now, we all want to be to the southeast of the storm. We want to be where the air is clear. It's not even raining. There's no hail. And you want to look into the storm from the southeast to the northwest. Great pictures. That's where the definition is. The tornado will be dark. The sky will be light. We'll have great pictures on television. Yes, that's where we want to be. But this storm was different. This storm put down a tornado, a very large multi-vortex, 150 mile per hour tornado, and then it lost that vortex as it turned to the left. And another tornado actually developed right behind us. We had driven another 10 miles away from the storm, and another tornado set down not less than a mile from us. Right. And then later on in the day, 15 minutes later, another tornado was on the ground 15 miles west of there that was heading back to us.
Just underscoring how dangerous these assignments can be, and you're often in the middle of that, Chad Myers. Appreciate your calling in from Oklahoma. We've got to get to a break. Chad Myers, thank you. Lois, stick around. When we come back, Eric Holder trying to meet with the media, make amends, but not everybody taking him up on that invitation. More in a moment.